Hello everyone and welcome to If You Want, Let Me Suggest, a show where I take a popular elite weapon and offer you a common, an enlisted, and a professional variant of weapons that either have some of the same attributes or fit the same play style and can be suitable replacements for the elite weapon to use until you get the one you're looking for. In today's episode, we'll be covering the MP11 Goliath. The Goliath is a rather underrated variant. A lot of people, when they're looking at the SMGs, really want the speakeasy or really want the breakneck or something like that. The Strider has been making rounds lately as a popular choice. But the MP11 Goliath is kind of sliding under the radar and, in my opinion, is one of, if not the best, submachine gun in the game, and certainly the best mid to long range submachine gun in the game. Where the Goliath is the same as the standard MP11 is it has 100% movement speed. Its ranges are short range 12 meters, medium range 21 meters. Its rate of fire is 923 rounds per minute, ammo is 32 rounds per magazine, and has a close range damage of 30, which means that even at point blank range, it will be a 4-shot kill. The negatives it sustains, it only has one drawback. It's got 30% more hipfire spread, which is something I didn't really even notice when using it, but I'm not much of a hipfire guy, and I understand that SMGs are kind of designed for that, so maybe you would notice it, but my playstyle doesn't have me hipfiring a whole lot, so it wasn't a big deal to me. And it only seems to have one positive attribute, but it is a massively positive attribute. It gets a damage increase. The medium damage is 30, and the long damage is 24, which means that it is going to kill in 4 shots all the way out to 21 meters, and it will never take more than 5 shots to kill. To put that in perspective, the previous best, or the more assumed best, mid to long range submachine gun was the ASM-1 Magnitude. And the thing about the Magnitude is it's got a 3-shot kill range, which the Goliath does not have. But the Goliath, like I said, carries 4 shots to kill out to 21 meters before dropping off to 5. The Magnitude, on the other hand, drops off to 5 shots to kill after just 14 meters. You get 7 extra meters of 4-shot kill range, and the Magnitude will drop off to 6 shots at a distance, whereas the MP11 only drops off to 5. And that is a pretty massive and noticeable difference. The Magnitude will kill faster up close, but not by much. The time to kill on the Goliath is 0.19 seconds, all the way out to, 21 meters, and 0.26 seconds after that in its 5-shot kill range, while the Magnitude drops down to 0.31 seconds at 15 meters and finishes at 0.39 seconds at long range. The Magnitude doesn't even make my list as a suitable replacement for the Goliath at that medium to long range playstyle with an SMG. The common variant substitute for the Goliath was a struggle for me to decide between the ASM-1 Magnitude and the Ball 223. I eventually went with the Ball 223 because while it takes more shots to kill, the time to kill is actually faster at every range than the Magnitude, with the exception of close range where the Magnitude kills in 0.15 seconds while the Ball kills in 0.18 seconds. Where the 223 is the same as the Goliath are the close range damage, which actually the 223 does a little bit more damage, dealing 33 damage per shot, but that's still 4 shots to kill, so it's not a massive improvement, so I'm going to include that in the same category. And the ammo capacity is 32 rounds per magazine. Where it's better than the Goliath is the rate of fire. It has a warm-up of 750 rounds per minute, but that only lasts for 4 shots, I believe. And after that, you get a sustained rate of fire of 1,000 rounds per minute, which is, of course, faster than the Goliath. And that brings its close time to kill to 0.18 seconds, which is 0.01 seconds faster than the Goliath. In short, the 223 will be competitive against the Goliath in close range. Where it's worse than the Goliath, you only get 90% movement speed rather than 100%. Its mid to long range damage is 24 and 18, which is 5 shots and 6 shots respectively. The range is significantly worse. Your 4-shot kill range is only 5 meters. It's a 5-shot kill out to 35 meters and 6 after that. And the medium to long time to kill is 0.24 seconds and 0.3 seconds, which are both significantly longer than the Goliath. There is not really a common variant of any weapon that is that competitive against the Goliath, but the 223 does have a place in that same play style, and this is unconfirmed, but I believe that the assault rifles get stronger aim assist than the SMGs do. So if you're playing on a console, you will be able to get that extra bullet on target a little bit easier than you can with an SMG like the Goliath. In short, the Ball 223 is actually one of the worst assault rifles in the game. However, it ends up being one of the better submachine guns in the game. The movement speed is a little annoying. You need things like quick draw and stock to really turn it into an SMG. But the fire rate at 1,000 rounds per minute is better than the majority of the SMGs in the game. It's got good accuracy at long range, and its time to kill is very competitive, put up against things like the Goliath and the ASM-1. And if you haven't tried it out, I suggest it, because I was surprised when I started looking up numbers for it to see that it actually can play the same type of style as the Goliath. And when I started using it, I actually had quite a bit of fun. I suggest you give that one a try, unless, of course, you already have the Goliath, in which case, you know, you've already got a better version of the 223, so enjoy that. The enlisted variant we'll be talking about is the MP11 Deceiver. I unfortunately do not have the Deceiver, so we'll be using standard MP11 gameplay in the background for this segment. Where the Deceiver is the same as the Goliath is it has 100% movement speed. Its close and long range damage is 30 and 20, which means that it will be a 4 and 5 shot kill. 4 shots close, 5 shots long. Its range is 12 meters for the 4-shot kill range, 21 meters is where the long range starts, and the rate of fire is 923 rounds per minute, and the ammo capacity is 32. Where it is actually better than the Goliath, it gets its standard MP11 hipfire accuracy, which means that it is going to have 30% less hip spread than the Goliath, and unfortunately that's the only way it's better than the Goliath. Where it's worse than the Goliath is its mid-range damage is 24, which means it'll be a 5-shot kill instead of 4 shots at mid-range, and 10% more recoil. Basically, with this one, the only noticeable difference between the Deceiver and the Goliath is that the Goliath has a 4-shot kill range of 21 meters, and 5 shots after that. The Deceiver has a 4-shot kill range of 12 meters, and 5 shots after that. Everything else, the hip spread, the recoil, and all that, is not stuff you're really going to notice in-game. And, you know, it kind of stinks to have a shorter 4-shot kill range, but that's what makes the Goliath an elite and the Deceiver an enlisted. It does serve the same basic purpose as the Goliath. It fits the same playstyle as the Goliath. If you're someone who likes to use an SMG, more like an assault rifle than an SMG, the Deceiver will do that for you. Just not quite as well as the Goliath. And finally, for our professional variant, we're going to talk about the KF5 Genuine, where it is the same as the Goliath. It has 100% movement speed. Its close and long range damages are fairly similar, 33 close, 20 long, which is a 4 and 5 shot kill respectively. And this one is a little strange, as all KF5s are. The first 5 rounds in the magazine deal extra damage, so let's go ahead and just cover those right now. The Close range for the first 5 rounds is going to be 35 damage, which is a 3-shot kill. Mid-range is 33 damage, which is a 4-shot kill, and long range is a 25 damage, which is also a 4-shot kill. All of those are going to be better than the Goliath. Goliath is a 4-shot mid-range kill, but the 3 close and the 4 long are both better than the Goliath. That's just the first 5 rounds of the magazine. We'll talk about strategy coming up in a little bit. Where the Genuine is better than the Goliath, it has a 40-round magazine, which 8 extra rounds is fairly noticeable, especially when you start talking about extended mags. It makes the difference pretty noticeable. And the close range is 13 meters as opposed to 12 meters. Not a huge difference, but it is still better, so I figured I would mention it. And where the Genuine is worse than the Goliath, its 5-shot kill range begins at 18 meters and stretches as far as the eye can see, while the Goliath 5-shot kill range starts at 21 meters and stretches as far as the eye can see. And the Genuine has an 869 rate of fire as opposed to the Goliath 923. And of course, the Genuine forces you not to use optics. There are no optics allowed. I am not a huge fan of the iron sights of the KF5. I think that they are among the worst in the game, right up there with the HBRA3 in my opinion. But with an SMG, that's not quite as big a deal. Longer ranges with SMGs is around 20 meters, which is still, optics aren't a huge deal at that range. So, it's very manageable. I was surprised how much fun I had using it. I was expecting to hate it because of how much I hate those iron sights, but it actually is surprisingly fun. And since we're talking about a KF5, you may hear me say this quite a few times because I feel like this is a strategy with the KF5 that is the difference between the KF5 being a good gun and the KF5 being an awful gun is something that I think everybody needs to know about if you're going to use a KF5. As you know, the first 5 rounds in the magazine deal extra damage. Those rounds make it the best SMG in the game for the first 5 rounds of the magazine. The strategy that you want to deploy is use Scavenger. I'm not using it in this gameplay because I prestiged and I don't have it unlocked yet. My next prestige, I'll be using a permanent unlock on Scavenger for sure. But use Scavenger, and every time you kill somebody, quick reload. That's double tap the reload button. You'll throw your ammo away, but you'll do a fast reload, and throwing the ammo away is not a big deal when you have Scavenger on. It's Scavenger in this game is kind of like having Sleight of Hand and Scavenger combined from Ghosts. It's a very powerful strategy. You will be using those high damage rounds pretty much constantly, and it makes the KF5 such a more powerful and very useful submachine gun. I'd like to go ahead and give a shout out now to the Fork 2002. That's the Fork _2002. Newer YouTube channel. He's got 2 videos up as of the time of this recording. It's a general information / comedy show about video games. He focuses mostly on indie games, and it's very funny. I suggest you guys go check it out. And if you want a shout out of your own, leave me a message in the comments below letting me know what it is you want me to plug, and give me a little information about it, and be prepared to return the favor. Thanks for watching.